afternoon to you, Professor Moose and Professor Singh. Today we are going to present our assignment 6, research proposal, quantitative instruments. Today our research has two research objectives and two research questions. What are they? What is the first research objective?
Okay, I would like to explain to you to determine the level of leadership knowledge in school canteen management of canteen operators and the school administrators.
Okay, how about the research question for it?
What is the level of leadership knowledge in school canteen management of canteen operators and the school administrators?
The second research objective.
Yes, I willing to explain to you to determine the level of monitoring in school canteen management practice by canteen operators and the school administrators.
About the research questions.
Okay, what is the level of monitoring in school canteen management practice by canteen and the operators and the school administration?
Okay, Professor Moose and Professor Zing, our research is actually we are using quantitative descriptive design. Okay, so our research involve how many instruments?
Two instruments.
Okay, for first stage, what are the instruments?
Interview practical.
Okay, for what purpose we are using interview protocol instrument?
We need to build a questionnaire.
Okay, for these instruments, what are the tests that we are going to use?
We are going to validate test using expert review and reliability test using quality test.
Okay, for second stage, stage 2, what are the instruments that we are using?
Questionnaire
For what purpose?
to collect data.
Okay, then do we need to do any tests?
We are going to validate test using expert review and reliability test using quality test.
Prof, in general, for the stage 1 interview protocol, we are going to build a questionnaire instrument using an interview protocol for a semi-structured questions in-person interview. Before conducting the actual study, we will determine the validity and reliability of the interview protocol instrument. Chang'an, our research interview protocol instruments, how many parts they have?
Three main parts for ordinary main read interview procedure.
Okay, what is the first part?
First is interview details. For example, individual name details, interview time, place, appointment gifts, recording, most speech usage.
How about the second part?
Second part is elaboration about research. For example, who is the researcher and why the interviewer is choosing confidentiality of the interview content, the importance of this contribution, and so on.
Sorry, what is the third part?
Okay, last of the questions. The questions must is in the parent no? Or in line with the research questions terms as clarification questions to be asked.
Okay, sorry, what are the other things that need to include in the interview protocol?
Okay, thank you. Greeting and the closure.
Okay, Prof, this is the example of the interview protocol for our research.
Okay, develop the instrument by referring to content and the sweet name model. Can you tell me these steps?
Okay, the first step is we identify the constructs based on literature review and experts review. And the second step is we develop items based on expert agreement and consensus. And the third step is we validate the constructs based on expert agreement as a Delphi. The fourth step is we make an examinations of the base validity and the contents validity by an expert. And the fifth step is we refine the items developed by carrying out the pilot studies. For your information, okay, fuzzy Delphi techniques is we get an expert review about the possible construct for schools canteen management leadership knowledge and the school canteen management monitoring practices for creating our questionnaire instruments and to explore the constructs of leadership knowledge in the school canteen management and monitoring practices in school canteen management. We will involve 10 experts and using semi-structured interview protocol as the instrument. Then we will get the expert consensus involving 10 experts also, and we are using the questionnaire instruments. To ensure the fast validity and content validity of the interview protocol, we involve a few things. Okay, Zhang An, what is the first thing that you're going to involve?
First thing is involves expert. For example, UTM lecture. Except expert is school management. They will validate or check the interview practical so that the interview questions are in line or in parallel with the research questions.
And any other things that you involve?
Okay, leading questions are made available before the main questions being asked. For example, how long the individual holds the position serves in the school. Is he or she involved in the issue or area of this research so that the first is right interviewee taken to answer the questions based on his or her position. The interviewee has sufficient experience in the aspect of the research area.
How to ensure the face validity or the content validity of the interview practical plan?
Okay, we need to involve the experts. For example, UTM lecturer who are experts in school management. They will validate or check the interview protocol so that the interview questions are in line or in parallel with the research questions.
The leading questions are made available before the main questions being asked. For example, how long the individual holds the position serves in the school. Is he and she or she involved in the issue or area of this research so that foster is the right interview taken to answer the questions based on his or her position. The second is interviewee has sufficient experience in the aspect of the research area. How to ensure reliability?
Okay. To ensure reliability, we will conduct an audit trial, transparent interpretations of all procedures and questions related to the studies, pilot tests, and a researcher response, validations of the findings, and initials and ongoing analysis with studies respondents.
The researcher will use three techniques to record information during the interview. Firstly, using a tape record for record purpose. Secondly, taking notes during the interview session. Lastly, recording as much information as was remembered immediately.
What's the aim of pilot testing the interview protocol?
For pilot testing the interview protocol, the purpose is to ensure the appropriateness of the interview protocol. For example, the time, place, recording methods, give, and etc. It also aims to ensure the questions are understandable. Other than that, the purpose is to ensure the arrangement or order of the questions are appropriate and good. And it's also to ensure that if there is a need to add or delete the questions. Also, according to Abdul Malik 2017, pilot test is to allow researcher to practice the interviewing techniques and improvise weakness of the existing interview protocol.
How do you do the pilot testing?
To do the pilot testing, it involves 5 respondents in Pasir Gudang district. The respondents are with the same characteristics as the real populations in Johor Bahru, but from different districts. These 5 respondents will not be reselected in the actual research interview sessions after that.
The 5 respondents are senior teacher, assistant or content teachers, and content operators who involved in school content management in Pasir Gudang district to run for in-person interview based in the interview practical phone call.
Instrument for stage 2. Questionnaire. Can you tell me questionnaire?
Okay, the questionnaire instruments will be divided into 3 parts. Part A, demographic. Part B, constructs of schools canteen management leadership knowledge. Part C, constructs of canteen management monitoring practices. Okay, now the constructions of the items for questionnaire is carried out after obtaining expert approval, such as experienced university lecturers in education management field, education states department officers who are responsible on training and monitoring the school's canteen management, and experienced school heads and canteen operators. Questionnaires instruments. Items in Part B to Part C is in form of choice questions using 4-point Likert skills.
What's the reason?
The researchers presume that the respondents are unfamiliar with the survey topic, are not expected to form an opinions about the topic. The respondents are under strong social desirability pressure, and the respondents are likely to show satisfactory behavior.
What's the Likert scale?
Okay, the Likert scale is described as 0 as never, 1 as sometimes, 2 as always, 3 is very often. The purpose of Likert scales is to measure the extent of the level of leadership knowledge in school canteen management and the level of monitoring in school canteen management practices by the canteen operators and the school's administrators.
I have a question how to ensure face validity and the content validity.
It involves 3 expert language experts, namely the literature Malay language at UTM and the head of the Malay language community at the primary school or UTM lecture. Expert is the school management.
What is the purpose of face validation?
Okay, the purpose for face validation is to review the suitability of the use of the language level in the questionnaire so that the respondents could understand the questions clearly. Another purpose is that to ensure the items assessed are in line with the stated objective and research questions.
What is the purpose of content validation?
The purpose of content validation is to validate the researcher's questionnaire items to check the accuracy and clarity of the content. It's also to ensure that the questionnaires accompanied by response instructions to assist respondents in answering the questionnaire. Okay. And how to ensure reliability of questionnaire?
A pilot study involves 30 school administrators and school content operators who have the same characteristics as the real population in Johor Bahru, but from other districts, namely the Pasir Gudang district.
In Chang'an, according to the Johnson Group 2010, Cha 2011, and Cohans 2018 stated that a pilot study should be conducted with a number of respondents not less than 30 people. So is it because of this you select 30 school administrator and school canteen operator?
Yes, respondents who will be involved with this pilot study will not select in the actual study.
Okay. Right.
How to analyze the finding of the pilot study?
To analyze the findings of the pilot studies, we are using the statistical packages for the social science SPSS software, okay, to determine the reliability of the questionnaire items through the interpretations of Crunchback alpha values.
Okay. How to make a reliability assurance more meticulous?
To make the reliability assurance more meticulous, we run the SPSS reliability statistics by dimensions. Like for example, for the first times, we'll run all items in the questionnaire first, and then the second times, we'll run all items in first dimensions, which is part B, constructs of school canteen management, leadership knowledge. And for the third time, we'll run for all items in the second dimensions, which is part C, constructs of canteen management monitoring practices.
Thank you for your answer.
How to determine the instrument reliability?
To determine the instrument's reliability, according to Lens and its members 2006, instrument reliability can be determined based on the Crunchback alpha's values. For example, if let's say the Crunchback alpha's values equals to or exceed 0.8, it means that the instrument's item is acceptable and reliable. But if let's say the alpha Crunchback values is less than 0.8, then it means that the items need to be modified, repaired, or removed, as the items are invalid and has low reliability. In case the Crunchback alpha values equals to 0.8, then it means that the instrument's items is at a moderate levels of reliability and the item is acceptable. But it can be questionable as well. Okay. To improve the reliability of the questionnaire instruments, if let's say Crunchback alpha values, the total values is less than the Crunchback alpha values, if items deleted, then item will be restructured the contents, sentence, or remove the items so that the reliability of the questionnaire can be improved further.
Thank you,
Professor, please give us 4 marks. Thank you.